Hello viewers, and welcome again to Discovering Truth, and I am Pastor Forbes from the Gateway Abiding Word Ministries here in the Gambia. This is the third and the final part of our three-part series entitled As the Year 2024 Winds Down for Us. We've looked at the first part, the second part, and I want to round it up with something I believe is important and something we should all consider as we get into 2025 in the next 2 weeks. Of course, next week, Tuesday, by the grace of God, is going to be Christmas Eve, so I'll be speaking on the story, the purpose, the meaning, and the joy. And also, the upper Tuesday, of course, will be the 31st of December, and that's the last day of the year. We'll share some thoughts, and as always, I will ask us all to pray together for our country as we transition into 2025, a new year. So we have it all mapped out as we end this December 2024. So in this final part, I want to look at something which at every stage and phase of our lives we have been, or we are, or unfortunately we will be facing. And I want to build a story on something else that would lead us to what I want to share with us. The blessing and the quality of life that electricity has brought us is immeasurable, especially the light bulb. If as I am speaking now, the electricity is turned off, you will not see me, except maybe the video camera's own light kicks in, but it will not be as bright as it is now. When power goes off anywhere we are, we panic. There have been unfortunate situations in some unnamed countries where sometimes the runway lights, the tarmac, the airport, the control tower, lights go off. And you can imagine how we feel. Even when you are at cruising altitude, maybe 35,000 feet, you're on a transcontinental flight, a red-eye flight, and all the lights have been turned down, and you get up and want to use the restroom, you have a little bit of unease because you know you are walking basically in the air with pressurized oxygen for you. When you think about our appliances, when you think about the things we can do, Christmas is around the corner all over the world. West Africa, East Africa, Asia, Europe, the Americas, the Middle East, everywhere. There will be lights, the malls, the supermarkets, even here in the Gambia. You're beginning to see and hear the songs, the Christmas carols, the decorations, the cards have begun to exchange, the hampers and all the music festivals and the parties and the turkeys and everything. Can you imagine all that in pitch blackout? Can you imagine a wedding? In most countries now, particularly in Africa, December has become the homecoming month and homecoming for also family reunions and weddings. Can you imagine the planning? Everything has been planned. You've invited people to your home. The Christmas tree is there, the lights are there, the carols are playing, everything is just alive and bubbly, and power goes off. And you don't have a generator, you don't have solar, you don't have some means of generating power. Sometimes you are taking a walk, maybe from your house down the road or the alley or the street, and the street lamps are on, and then they go off. You have that 2-3 seconds of panic, and then you have to activate the light on your cell phone, or maybe you have a torch, because nobody wants to remain in darkness, because darkness is the absence of light. So when Mr. Edison discovered, invented, and released this light bulb, life changed, opportunities changed, life quality improved, nutrition improved, because it's all based on electricity. And the basic LCM of it literally is 2 cables, 2 filaments, 2 poles that are opposite. In the barest minimum, you have a wire with a red insulation, known as the positive, and a wire or a cable with a black insulation, known as the negative. In some appliances, we even have earth or grounding. I even like the word grounding. So in a standard 3-pin plug, you're going to have brown, blue, and green and yellow together. So the brown or sometimes red is the live, the positive. The black is the neutral or negative. And then the earth, green or green and yellow combined, is the grounding, if it's 3-pin. And these 2, basically, or sometimes 3, is what makes the light bulb work. It's what makes electricity function. Without them, no show, no deal, no dice, blackout, no technological advancement, no improvement in our lives. The true functionality is because there is a connection of the positive and a connection for the negative. If you connect the positive alone, no matter what you do, the power will not come on. The bulb will not come on. If you connect the negative alone, it won't come on. They have to be connected together, much as they are in opposite polarities, the negative and the positive. Sadly, ladies and gentlemen, the word negative in terms of this connection comes to our minds as something bad, something anti, something in opposition, something that speaks of doubt, disbelief, laziness, cowardice, something to be discountenanced. But the truth of life is that life cannot move on in the way we know it today by just one pole or polarity. No matter how sophisticated the bulb is, solar, LED, call it whatever you want to call it, halogen, warm white, brilliant white, dimmer switched, it needs the positive and the negative working together for this brightness and brilliance and luminance and illumination that we see, that gives us direction, gives us purpose, gives us meaning to life, and enables us to dream further. So for life to move on the way we all desire and want it, is that we need these two to work together. So whenever we, and permit the phrase, whenever we negate the negative pole, whenever we discard it, whenever we refuse to connect it, whenever we discountenance its purpose, its effect, its importance, we are shortchanging ourselves. We are ridding ourselves of the possibility of a better life, a brighter life. We are ridding ourselves of the joys of life. We cannot have the light bulb giving us its brilliance with just the red, the positive connection. We cannot do without the black. We need the negative. Our cars, the battery in our cars, every appliance, electrical appliance, power, sound, lighting, anything in our homes, the bottom of it all, at the very base, there's got to be a connection of two wires, the red and the black, the positive and the negative. Sometimes the positive, the neutral, the earth, the grounding, they got to work together. One cannot say to the other, I don't need you. And so, such is life, ladies and gentlemen. As we take stock of 2024 and start looking into 2025 in the next 15 days, life is for everybody. Life is for us all. Whether you are able, differently able, strong, weak, literate, illiterate, exposed as per travel, not exposed, resourced, endowed with business acumen, family wealth, great pedigree or not, life is for all of us. And for anybody to enjoy life, grow in life, develop in life, and start even thinking of legacy, because there have been a fulfillment and successful achievement and accomplishment of life because of the positive and the negative, that has to be everybody's story. So anybody who tells you that you only need the positive, at best, is telling you half of the truth, half of the connection. At worst, 1/3 of the 3 cables. Anybody who tells you don't need the black, black is always bad, is sinful, it's negative, it's not good, it's doubtful, it's duplicitous, it's disbelief, it's lack of faith, it's this, it's that. No. No light, no electrical appliance on this earth. Not a car, not a plane, not a space rocket, not a satellite dish, not a radio, not a hairdryer, not a rice cooker, not a refrigerator, not a TV, not an electric knife, nothing. Not even your cell phone. Not traffic lights. Nothing. Not even your computer can work without that basic power connection. And so if we understand and agree, and I hope we do, that life is such that we need the complementarity and synergy of these two, then I bring it to my point. In our homes, in our schools, in our workplaces, in our business endeavors, in government, in the judiciary, in the legislature, or National Assembly as we call it in the Gambia, in the executive, in civil society, in religious society, in the private sector, in the donor and diplomatic community and corps, and everything put together. We need the working together of that which seems to have fast results and looks like it's positive, gets it quickly, high risk factor, ready to move on, will never get the work done. Because for it to find its full meaning, it needs the other one. So the success of our homes, the success of our offices, the success of our businesses, the success of our nation, the success of our political experiment, the success of our democracy, the success of everything we want to do in business, technological advancement, we have to have a win-win mentality. That means we cannot afford cliques, groups that fight each other. We can't afford to gaslight people in the offices, schools, businesses. We can't afford bullying tactics, because all these things should change us. If you gaslight somebody, you have succeeded in also lying to yourself. by making them believe your lie. After some time, you are not able to tell the truth yourself. If we gang up against 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, or truth, one person is trying to stand for truth, and we gang up and become a squad of bullies in schools, in the workplace. If you don't join us, we will fight you until we gaslight you, until we can even drive you mentally insane. No. The bottom line is that you just removed the black cable, and you wonder why things are not moving the way they ought to move. Ladies and gentlemen, as we look to the next 15 days, let me tell you the truth. Every country and every place, every institution, every people, every family, every home, every union, every enterprise, any conglomerate, anything that looks like it's working well, and we love them in terms of nations, we want to rush in our own country. Everybody seems to want to rush to Spain. Everybody wants a passport. Why? Because they're connected, the black and the red. And those who are running away maybe are saying, there's only red. So, however you cut it, it does not work for the success, long-term success, prosperity, and advancement of anything. Friendships, business partnerships, relationships, unions, jobs, offices. If the work culture is toxic, if there are bullies and a bullying system, so that truth cannot come out. You know, around the world they have whistleblowers. There is a reason for that. But the truth is that there mustn't be a whistleblower if we all understand the red and the black have to come together for brilliance to come. And when light comes, it shines over us all. We all see, we can all move together, we can all be progressive, we can all advance, we can even dare to dream more, be inventive, be creative, be innovative, and do great things. So whereas somebody may think that, well, we're going to fight this man, we're going to fight this one, we're going to fight these people, and drive them out, they will know that this is our place. It's a weak way of doing things. It's one cable. It's one connection. It's not going to work. In the long time, it's going to fail. It's set up to fail. So if in 2025 we want a great nation, greater than we have ever been, we want great institutions, great homes, great schools, wonderful outcomes and results and all that, we need to come back to the red and the black. Red is good, it's positive. There are people who get it. Black sometimes may be slow, but you will never get that bulb working without the two. So people who are pushing the red too much and discountenancing the black, I've used 2 words, gaslighting and bullying. We must start calling them out, making examples of them, because those are things and practices that will retard us, send us back. It's like an army that's killing its own best soldiers. That should not happen. In many ways, it's shameful and it's cowardice or cowardice. Red needs black, as black needs red. It's not just bullying, gaslighting. What about sexual harassment? The shame of it, the disgrace of it, the infantile nature of it. If you don't come and do this with me, you will not get your promotion. You will not get the job. Come on. Come on. Regardless the level. Regardless the level. Regardless the institution, local, regional, or global. Regardless the hierarchy. No. No. When you think about it deeply, when somebody has been sexually harassed or violated to get a job, you think they'll perform their best? They won't, neither would you. You, for fear of the fact that one day there'll be a telltale sign, and them for just the fear for their life and all the attendant consequences. Anybody who did that pulled out the black and is wondering, why is there no power? Why are there other places that are more brilliant than we are? Sexual harassment, bullying, gaslighting. Ladies and gentlemen, let's learn to work together. Let's be introspective, especially those of us in leadership, those of us who have power over people's promotions and power over their leave, and we give oversight over them, and we can literally get people to do what we want them to do, when we want them to do, where we want them to do. Let's do away with that. It's childish. It means we don't have confidence in ourselves. We don't trust ourselves. We don't even love ourselves. In the next 15 days, let's all look inward. Have I been a bully? Am I part of a system that's gaslighting and showing power to vulnerable people? Am I hurting? Am I driving people up the wall, affecting their mental well-being? Am I part of a sexual harassment scam, scheme, financial scheme, a cabal, a caboodle, a clique and a clan that nothing will move? The truth is that it won't move for you, it won't move for anybody. Try driving a car with just a positive terminal on the battery. It may run for a while, but you know, we all know when that dynamo is not charging, it will go for a while. Turn your lights on, drive, and stop and try to start the car again. Then you know. And when you open the bonnet, you say, oh, I know what happened. The negative came out. So-called negative. Ladies and gentlemen, it can be better if we want it to be better. It can be great if we want it to be great. It can be sweet if we want it to be sweet. But we have to make those choices. And enough of this, that when it happens all over the world, everybody does it. No, you're not everybody. So let's stand for truth. Let's think win-win. As we wind down this year, let's practice win-win. Despite our obvious differences, obvious sense of values, obvious opinions, the red and the black have to be connected together for the cycle to work and for light to come, for illumination. Think about it and go look for that black and bring them back on board. And black, look for that red and bring them on board. So there will be a complementarity, a synergy, and a win-win. And on this note, I end this 3-part series as we round up the year 2024. Next Tuesday, by the grace of God, I'll talk about Christmas, because it's going to be Christmas Eve, and the next Tuesday will be the 31st, the last day of the year. I will speak and we will pray for our country and commit it into God's hands. And as I always say, if you have nowhere to spend the year ending, come to the gateway, 10 p.m., be with us until we cross over midnight. Cross over praying, cross over thanking God. Find yourself in the right place. Start properly. It would even help you. So you get rid of sexual harassment, like get rid of financial corruption, get rid of bullying, get rid of gaslighting, and we'll be one great family thinking win-win under God. Until I come your way next week by the special grace of God, this is Pastor Forbes saying, may God keep us, and may these thoughts turn around in our heart and birth a new reality, a new work culture, a new corporate culture, a new national work ethic and practice. Amen. Have a good day.
Discovering truth.